Once upon a time, in a peaceful village by a river, there lived a young man named Arjun. Arjun was 25 years old, kind hearted, and intelligent. But he had one weakness: his mind never rested. Day and night, he thought endlessly. He replayed mistakes from the past, wondered what people thought about him, and worried about what future might bring. Even when he sat the beautiful river, his heart was never calm. His thoughts were like a storm, loud, restless, and without pause. Arjun often said to himself, "Why can't I stop thinking? Why can't I find peace? Why does happiness feel so far away?" He tried many things. He read books about success, meditation, and happiness. He spoke to friends who told him, "Just relax." But no matter how hard he tried, his thoughts were always returned, stronger than before. Sometimes he lay awake at night, staring at the ceiling, replaying conversation in his head. He regretted words he had spoken. He imagined all the things that could go wrong tomorrow. His body was young, but his heart felt tired. One morning, after another sleepless night, Arjun sat by the river. The gentle waves touched the shore, but he did not notice their beauty. His eyes were heavy, and his mind was drowning in thoughts. An old fisherman, who often sat nearby, looked at him and said, "Young man, you look troubled. Why are you frowning when the whole world around you is smiling?" Arjun replied softly, "Sir, I cannot stop thinking. My mind is restless. I live in the past. I worry about the future. I want peace, but I cannot find it." The fisherman nodded and said, "Perhaps you should meet the hermit in the mountains. They say he knows the art of silence, the art of emptying the mind." Those words touched Arjun's heart. The very next day, he packed a small bag and began walking towards the mountains. The journey was not easy. The path was rocky and the climb was steep. He was tired, yet something in him pushed him forward. At last, after 3 days of walking, he reached a small wooden hut surrounded by pine trees. There, sitting outside on a simple mat, was an old man with long hair, white beard, and a beard. His eyes were closed, his breath was calm, and he seemed to be one with the silence around him. Arjun bowed and said, "Master, my name is Arjun. I have come from far away. My mind is always restless. I cannot stop overthinking. Please, can you teach me peace?" The old man slowly opened his eyes and smiled gently. "Sit down, my son. If you truly wish to empty your mind, I will show you." The hermit brought out a clay cup and filled it with water until it overflowed. The water spilled on the ground. He looked at Arjun and asked, "Why did the water overflow?" Arjun replied, "Because the cup was already full." The hermit nodded, "Yes, and this is the state of your mind, always full, full of memories, regrets, fears, and worries. If the cup is full, nothing new can enter. In the same way, if your mind is full of noise, peace cannot enter. If you want peace, you must first empty your cup." Arjun listened carefully, but he asked, "Master, how do I empty my mind? Thoughts come without asking." The hermit smiled, "Come with me tomorrow morning and you will learn." The next day, before sunrise, the hermit handed Arjun a small bowl filled with water. "Take this bowl of water and walk around the village at the foot of this mountain," he said. "But remember, not a single drop must spill." Arjun carefully held the bowl and began walking down the mountain path. The rocks were uneven, the wind blew strongly, and villagers greeted him along the way. But Arjun did not look at them. His entire focus was on keeping the water safe. Hours later, he returned to the hermit, tired but successful. "Master, I did it. Not a drop of water spilled." The hermit asked calmly, "Good, but tell me, did you see the rising sun painting the sky in gold? Did you hear the birds singing in the trees? Did you notice the children laughing in the village?" Arjun looked down. "No, master, I saw nothing. I was only focused on the bowl." The hermit's eyes shone with wisdom. "And this, my son, is the secret of peace. When your mind is focused fully on one thing, In the present moment, there is no space for the past or future. Just as protected the water, you must protect your mind's attention. Wherever attention goes, energy flows. If you focus on worries, you will suffer. If you focus on the now, you will find peace. For the next several weeks, Arjun lived with the hermit. Each day, he practiced simple exercise, watching his breath, listening to the sound of river, walking slowly, noticing each step, sitting in silence, allowing thoughts to come and go without chasing them. At first, it was difficult. His thoughts still returned, but slowly he began to feel lighter. The more he practiced, the more he realized something. He was not his thoughts. The thoughts came like clouds, but behind them was always the clear sky of awareness. One evening, while watching the sunset, Arjun suddenly smiled. For the first time in years, he felt beauty of present moment, the colors of the sky, the sound of the breeze, the warmth of fading sun. Everything felt alive. He whispered to himself, I see it now. Peace is not something I must search for. It has always been there. I was just too busy to think, to notice. After several months, Arjun thanked the hermit and returned to his village. But he was no longer the same restless young man. He walked slower, breathed deeper, and smiled more often. When people asked Arjun, what changed in you? He simply smiled. I learned to empty my mind. I learned to live here in this moment. My friends, Arjun's story is not just his, it is the story of many of us. We fill our minds with endless thoughts, regrets of the past, worries of the future, imaginary fears that never come true. And in doing so, we miss the only treasure we truly have, the present moment. When we empty the cup of our mind, when we stop chasing every thought, peace enters naturally. Happiness is not in yesterday or tomorrow, it is here, now. So if you too feel restless, remember Arjun's story. Protect your mind like the ball of water. Focus on what is real, the step you are taking right now, the breath you are breathing right now. That is where peace lives. The hermit's wisdom teaches us powerful truth. The mind is a wonderful servant but a terrible master. If you control it, life becomes light. If you let it control you, life becomes heavy. So empty your mind, let go of what is gone. Stop worrying about what has not yet come. Live here in this very moment, because true happiness is not found in thinking, it is found in being.